You are watching Tennessee Valley this morning. I am Rob Alderman. With me, as always, the Slinky, who now picks a topic. Ready, go.
Taco Bell has changed their slogan. They are no longer going to be going by Yo Quiero Taco Bell or by the Think Outside the Bun. They are now going to be using the phrase "Live Más." What are your thoughts on this, Mr. PR?
Well done, Taco Bell. Those are PR dollars well spent. No, you know what? Here's the deal. They really had something going with that dog for a while. It was a horrible, this Yo Quiero thing. At least it sparked a revolution. You know what I mean? People were like, you remember like the little Christian t-shirts that said Yo Quiero Jesus?
I remember.
And things like that. You could say what you want about whether or not those were effective gospel communication pieces, but at least people wore them.
When you combine something like that with a fast food slogan, does it become sacrilegious?
That's well done. You're on it.
I know. I'm sharp.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, when Ryan shows up here, a lot of times he goes straight from his work clothes to this desk. Today, he put on this handsome thing here, and it's amazing. And it shows. It shows in your delivery. You're feeling it today.
Right.
Here's what I think about.
Tell us about Live Más.
Here's what I think about Live Más. I actually like it.
Really?
I like it. I think it's going to be better than Think Outside the Bun. Think Outside the Bun just felt wrong.
It never
all
really
the time.
fit.
Think Outside the Bun. Now, I think they had something going good with Fourth Meal.
Sure.
Fourth Meal was a good idea.
And First Meal, their new breakfast line.
First Meal, Fourth Meal. These were good ideas, okay? But I think Live Más is taking it to the next level. Do they have a projected time when we're going to start seeing Live Más commercials?
Sometime in the next month or two.
No, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that being all right. Live Más. I'm gonna give it a great. What about you?
I think that I could live Live Más with that one.
Better than Yo Quiero Taco Bell,
Sure.
and better than Fourth Meal.
Yeah, you know, the Think Outside the Bun always bothered me because I never thought that your slogan should be based on what other people sell.
That's true. That's fair.
That always struck me as odd.
Well, speaking of odd, we have a show coming up for you. We have two guests. One is the Adam Lowe.
He's really what we call. He's really the Adam Lowe of the county.
Right. There's Adam Lowe of the county, and then there's Adam Lowe. Hey, just your neighbor, Adam Lowe.
That's right.
And we have both of those Adam Lowes on our show today. We have some big news. We have the preview review, and we will be right back after this. Lights, camera, Cleveland.
Tennessee Valley this morning.
True.
Live Más.
Live Más.
We're back. Welcome to Tennessee Valley this morning. It's bright, it's early. We should all be in bed, but we're not. It's time for the big news, Rob.
It is time for the big news. As always, with the big news, we rip these headlines directly from your Cleveland Daily Banner.
Well, it was actually your Cleveland Daily Banner because you have a subscription.
I have a subscription to the Cleveland Daily Banner.
You know, the great thing about the Cleveland Daily Banner is that you can actually fold it up and take it with you.
The thing that I love about the Cleveland Daily Banner is that I know it is going to arrive promptly at 4:30 in the afternoon every single day, directly to my front lawn, typically in an area full of mud. I go out, I get it out, I brush it off, and I bring it to you. Now, why is this good for you? Well, I'll tell you, because I am one of 10, 20 people that have a subscription.
You are living Más.
I live Más. And I take the Cleveland Daily Banner, I comb through its plethora of news, and I bring the headlines to you, but we got good news.
Tell us the news, my friend.
This is the big news. The biggest news coming to you live from the Cleveland Daily Banner is that the county is going back to review wheel tax options.
Oh, really?
Dun, 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 dun. dun, 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 the plot thickens. Hey, guess what? Nobody wants more taxes.
Well, tax moss was not the slogan.
It wasn't. I'm surprised to see this because I thought that at some point the county commissioners were going to get together and they were going to have like some sort of secret meeting and find a way to tax us without knowing it, like the way we're used to. Okay? Find a way to sneak in this tax or that. You don't want like a headline that says you're going back to come up with a tax on the wheels of my car. Listen, I drive an F-150 truck. Okay, and
those are big wheels.
I pay wheel taxes. They are not small. I think I pay wheel taxes. We'll find out from Adam Lowe later.
He will know.
This is the big news. The biggest news is that apparently, and here's the facts. We all know that we're trying to do some great things in the county. Okay, all joking aside, we're trying to do some great things in the county. I don't know all the ins and outs of this wheel tax. That's something that we'll actually ask Commissioner Lowe about later in the show. I know that they want to do important things and that in the past they've found ways to kind of introduce special taxes to the county and to the city that can help us in our education system, something that we all want, help us maybe with our civil servants, things like the county sheriff's department, things like that. I don't know. We're going to get to the bottom of this later because we're hard-nosed journalists. But that was the biggest news.
All right.
And you know what? You can email us, lightscameracleveland@gmail.com, and talk to us about the wheel tax, and we'll do a follow-up next week and let all 10 of you people that watch us in the morning know what all 10 of you are thinking, I guess. The second bit of news, and this is a big one, is that Billy Graham Avenue will be christened tomorrow. They're going to do a ribbon cutting.
You mean
tomorrow. Today? Later today, we're going to have a ribbon cutting, and I'm still getting used to these time changes. That's what it is. We're going to be cutting the ribbon. We're going to be cutting the ribbon at Billy Graham Avenue, which is one of the roads that runs right there by Lee University.
That's right.
And, according to legend, Billy Graham once walked the hallowed sidewalks of Lee University before it was Lee University.
They
before it was
say
in college.
on cool autumn nights when the wind blows just so and the orange glow of the setting sun fills the sky, his haunting visage can still be seen walking the road.
Well, speaking of his haunting visage, we now go live to Lights Camera Cleveland correspondent Billy Graham.
Billy, can you hear us?
Yep.
Are you sure you can hear us? You are very old.
I am really old.
Tell us, what is the situation there concerning your road?
It's a road.
Billy, now you come to it. You're from a time period in America before roads. How does it feel to be part of this new technology?
It's weird. I don't understand these cars and things.
I thought your little puppet dentures were going to fall out of your little puppet.
Me too.
I love this. Billy, let me ask you something. Word on the street, Billy, is that this is Mayor Tom Rowland. Is a big part of this. He wants to honor you because you and he were childhood friends. You grew up together. What was it like growing up with Tom Rowland?
It was a long time ago. I don't remember much about that.
Would you say that the two of you lived moss?
Did you and Tom Rowland live moss, Billy?
I did.
Well, you did. Not so much. Tom wasn't living moss. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Billy Graham. Good luck with the road named after you. You certainly deserve it.
You're welcome.
In other news, Todd Starnes was here a couple days ago. And he lectured over at Lee. Now, as you know, Todd Starnes, Lee University graduate. And he's living moss right now. He grew up to be the anchor of Fox News. He grew up. I went to school with Todd, and our relationship was that I would come up with things that I thought were really, really cool, and he would correct me, and he would tell me how they were supposed to be done. So I'd say, Todd, I wrote this really neat press release. This is really going to get their attention, and Todd would go, Rob. He was a couple years older than
Sure.
me. And he was like, in fact, I saw him at the book signing and he signed to my protege, Rob Alderman. Now, what I'll just say to you, Todd Starnes, is clearly the student has become the master.
Ooh.
Because you are the anchor of Fox News Radio, but I, my friend, have graduated to television.
Tennessee Valley this morning.
Co-anchor of the Friday show only. You gotta learn to work smarter, not harder. That's what I'm saying.
Who is living Moss now?
Yeah, who's living Moss now, Todd Starnes. Anyway, he was on campus. We were all glad to see Todd Starnes. That was in the news. And our final piece of local news before we move to the national news is lots of one-year storm stuff being planned. So now you were at Ground Zero.
Ground Central Station 0.
You were there. Your house, part of your neighbor's house, is sitting in your house 1 year ago. As we get there, Sleeky, what are you feeling about this? In a moment of seriousness, if you could look into camera one.
I think that, hello, camera one. You're looking very attractive today. I think that, no, in all seriousness, you know.
1 year. It's weird, huh?
The crazy thing about it is this. There are still houses around me that are not repaired. There are still places around me that are covered in fallen trees. You know, it's difficult to even drive to my house and not see some sort of reminder. And that makes it hard. And, you know, to this day, my wife and I still get nervous when we get storms. You know, and I grew up in Northwest Indiana, you know, near Chicago at the end of Tornado Alley, and that was never something that bothered me before. You know, we had thunderstorms all the time, and, you know, we used to play outside in them.
Right.
And now, you know, we start getting thunderstorms, and, you know, we check and make sure that the flashlights are powered up and the radio's where we can get to it, and the dog's inside, and we're all downstairs. And so it's definitely, you know, it's weird to say that it's changed our lives, but it kind of has in a little way.
Yeah, I think as we move forward, what I like to see is the fact that so many groups were involved over the past year, obviously still involved, and that's something we're going to talk to Commissioner Lowe about. His county was actually hit hardest of all the counties in the storm. His county had a lot of damage, and he, of course, went to the mat for the people in his county and did a lot of work out there, and has been instrumental in raising a lot of awareness about what it was going to take to get the job done. I'm glad to see, you know, we talked a little bit about the city with spirit last week, and we poked a little bit of fun at that, but the city with spirit, what we're seeing is really through this tornado process in this whole year, we've really seen that happen.
I think that's true.
People helping one another, and we'll report more on that, of course, as we get closer to the 1 year deadline, which is April 27th.
Right.
In national news, the GOP candidates are still duking it out on CNN. When will this be over?
November. I think it's safe to say.
Listen,
probably
if you're
November.
President Obama, aren't you just the happiest guy in the world? Like, you got to figure that several months ago, President Obama was in real trouble. People are upset at him. They're angry. And I mean, let's face it, if you talk to anybody in this town, or at least the vast majority of people in this town, people are still angry at him.
That's right.
The only thing they're more angry about is that the Republicans can't seem to find anybody worthy of running against them. At least they can't figure it out. Over the next several weeks, we're going to have multiple GOP candidates in the area. They say Newt Gingrich is...
Who?
Gingrich! Newt Gingrich is coming to Dalton, Georgia. Rick Santorum is rumored to be coming to Hickson area.
And they're saying that the president may even come to the area.
They say he may come to the area. So apparently, the GOP candidates can't seem to figure. I would have thought by now, and maybe again, it's interesting that all these things are pointing us to our guest of the show. Maybe he'll be able to shed some light on this, because I can't figure out why. At the end of the day, aren't they just going to pick Mitt Romney? But didn't we know that a few months ago? So it's like SEC football, right? In SEC football, you have all these guys, and they get together and they beat each other up all season. And then at the end, the guy that you thought was going to be the champion is still the champion. You know, I mean, isn't that really what happens here? It's like every week there's always somebody new out front, except for Ron Paul, who just refuses to quit showing up to the debates. So anyway, I guess maybe we'll wait and we'll ask more. But you have thoughts on that?
I think that, there comes a point when you stop caring.
At this point, watching the Twitter feeds are more fun.
Yeah, until there's some sort of decision made, we've lost interest. We don't care anymore. It's like, get your crap together, live Moss, and then we'll come back to it.
I think in the end, Mitt Romney's living Moss. And I think that but does he have enough, after all this mess, does he have enough? Have we picked him apart? Has his Republican counterparts picked him apart to a point where he can't beat the president?
They're all friends.
So yeah, several months ago, Obama's like terrified. What's going to happen to me? My approval ratings are down. Now he's laughing.
Now he's singing a rhythm and blues songs,
last piece of national news, and then you've got a couple of interesting tidbits, is that Iran tensions inflate gas prices. We'll make this short. There's always been tensions in Iran for a really long time, and if this is going to inflate our gas prices, we're in a lot of trouble. Was that succinct?
I think so. That was good.
Let's move on to these.
All right, well, it turns out that Luther Massengill from Sunny 92.3 FM in Chattanooga is being kind of hailed as perhaps the world's oldest DJ. He is a radio DJ that has been on the air since he was like 15 or so. He's been serving over 70 years as a radio host at the same station. Has never changed jobs.
I think that what's interesting is later this morning when he and Billy Graham and Dan Howe and Tom Rowland all get together and talk about when they got in the business together. You know what I mean? That's going to be quite a reunion. They're going to look at the roads and say, how far we've come.
Well, they're saying that he is the only radio announcer in America to have reported both the 1941 bombing of Pearl Harbor and the 9/11 attacks.
That's amazing.
That's pretty cool.
We need to get him on this show. How do we get him on this show, Camera One? All right.
We'll do that. All right. And the other strange news is Time Magazine has just voted Dollywood the 9th strangest theme park in the world.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
I've been there. It didn't seem that weird.
But apparently it is.
Maybe it's strange because they have things there like the gospel music cassette tape Hall of Fame. And
it's
stuff
Tennessee's #1 ticketed tourist attraction. But for whatever reason, they just think that the idea of centering a theme park around Dolly Parton and the Queen of Country is odd.
I really like it. I think what's interesting is when you go up to that area, Sevierville area, it's almost like the whole city is centered around Dolly Parton. You know what I mean? I don't know. I couldn't say it's that weird.
Right.
What was #1 weirdest? Do we know?
Yeah, there was some. They were bizarre. They were all over the world, and they included everything from like a theme park that had a bunch of sculptures of inappropriate nudes, and it was much worse than that. Obviously.
Okay. So Dolly Parton is simple.
Dolly Parton is kind of simple. It was very strange, but yeah, there was another theme park that was all themed around bonbons.
Okay. Well,
so it was just strange.
Well, anyway, there you have it. That's our big news, and we're going to be right back with Adam Lowe, your neighbor, after this. You're watching Tennessee Valley this morning.
I'm Wes Robbins with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. When it comes to employee benefits, we've got you covered. Call me today for the best service and best solutions to your group health and employee benefits needs. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open in Cleveland. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment, clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, migraine headaches, even sprains and injuries. It is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level, providing an array of health benefits. So whether you're dealing with a weekend sports injury, chronic condition, or looking for anti-aging, you owe it to yourself to explore what Hyperbaric Services can do for you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes. 5 months and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
Very simple process, and it's well worth it.
Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning's Friday Lights Camera Cleveland edition. I'm the Slinky, this is Rob, and joining us now is Adam Lowe, a guy, live in Moss in the county.
We are having Adam Lowe on this show in 2 capacities today, but right now, this is just about living Moss, Adam Lowe.
I came because they said there would be a breakfast buffet.
And
I've yet to see one.
Well,
I want my burrito.
The problem is that Taco Bell has just quit doing that.
No more.
So no more of that. But
we actually gave up feeding our guests for Lent. Had you been here last week, you would have had the breakfast buffet.
It's true.
In fact, we usually do it with a little 70s music, you know, a little cheeseburger in paradise, and have the Jimmy buffet, but not
The Jimmy Logan buffet.
The Jimmy Logan buffet.
The Jimmy Logan buffet. Well, I've given up honest answers for Lent. So
well
ask
done.
away.
All right.
Well,
so this would be like every other political interview you've ever done.
Touche.
Oh, snap!
You know what? Speaking of, let's just ask Adam Lowe, just a guy, a couple of political questions.
All right.
Okay.
Not questions about the county commission, but this GOP thing that is clearly, we're not getting it. Okay, but you're a dyed-in-the-wool Republican, you know, and you're watching this, I'm sure, with bated breath. What's with this? Is this normal?
I'm tired of debates. Aren't you?
Yeah, it seems so long.
I don't think any new information is coming to the table. I mean, you know you have Rick Santorum, you've got Newt Gingrich, you've got Mitt Romney, and then you've got everybody who wants someone else.
Right.
And I think at the end of the day, these guys are going to continue to make their case, and whoever has the most money prevails. Imagine that.
I checked out when the pizza guy left.
Oh, Herman Cain?
That was brilliant TV.
If you order it, pizza will come.
Yeah, if you order it, pizza will come, and when you don't want it, pizza will leave you
alone.
Yeah, I think that...
When you wake up at 2:30 in the morning, and your fridge is weirding you out, if you order it, pizza will come.
It's true. I think that Herman Cain at least made the best television.
What do we need to do to get Basil Marceau in the presidential race? That's my question.
BasilMarceau.com?
Yeah, Basil.
Is he? Can we write-in candidate him?
I'm sure you can.
We need to get that
Camera
guy.
one. We need to get Basil Marceau on this show as well. That would be brilliant.
Well, I'll give you the breakdown of the GOP presidential race.
Yeah, I'm ready.
By the time it comes to Tennessee, and all the good folks in Tennessee get a chance to vote, it probably won't matter. The decision will be made for you by the states that come before. Now they're saying there'll be a broker convention. I don't quite see that, but it seems like every time Tennessee rolls around, it may or may not matter. We'll see. Do you
think there's something inherently wrong with the system if we're a system where some states always matter and some states don't in deciding these things?
I don't know if it's inherently wrong. I mean, the only alternative would be everybody votes at once, like in a general election. And honestly, it's just the states do it their own way. There's been a big debate over which state's going first. Florida tried to move theirs up. Nevada tried to move theirs up. And a lot of people like tradition with the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary. So it is what it is. It's the way we do things.
Do you think I'm right?
The old adage, democracy is the worst form of government except for everything else.
Right. Do you think I'm right that in the end it's just going to be Mitt Romney who we thought it was?
I don't know. I don't know if you're rarely right. So that's not working for Mitt Romney today.
You know what? I thought about that. That could be true.
Mitt Romney, the worst thing that could have happened was Rob Alderman saying you were going to win.
I'm sorry.
Just go on the record.
I'd like to say I'm sorry right now, Mitt Romney, but you might as well quit. You might as well quit. Now, Adam Lowe, just a guy. You know that we have a lot of nonprofits on this show.
Yeah.
We've had Habitat for Humanity on the show. We've had United Way, several others. This fundraising kind of the nonprofit world, this in your day-to-day life, in your regular old Adam Lowy life.
How I make my living.
This
not
is a
county
big
commission.
right, correct. This is a big part of your life.
Yeah.
What do you see when you're looking at the way nonprofits are functioning and the way things are right now? Can you tell us a little bit about how your world revolves around that, and maybe how our viewers, all 5 of them, will?
Did we lose 5 between the breaks?
You must have lost 5.
Well,
Rats.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
there's 5 people who are like, I just tune in for the puppet, and then I'm gone.
Yeah. The puppet has his own 5.
Your weekend update knockoff.
He's out of here.
Oh well. I mean, nonprofits. I decided a long time ago that's kind of where I wanted my career focus to be, and I've worked with Boys and Girls Clubs. I've worked with Lee University, and presently with the Cleveland State Foundation, and they do a lot of good in the community. You guys were talking earlier about the tornadoes. And I think a lot of people locally realized just exactly what people doing out of the kindness of their heart can accomplish.
Right.
And in the matter of 24 hours, when people rally to that, nonprofits do that day to day, 365 days a year. They look at their needs. They look at the needs of the community around them. They raise money. They write grants. And then they go out and making chump change for salaries sometimes, and they do good works.
Right.
And we've seen since the economy's been down, we've seen a growth in that, and I think that's an awesome thing to do. That it's something I enjoy working in, enjoy being a part of on a regular basis. Contrary to popular belief, it is how I make my living. Not
everybody thinks you're making
a
a fat cat commission salary.
Yeah, no, that is
But
a
instead
civil service at its best.
You're making a fat cat nonprofit living.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say
You moved into the right areas.
I didn't move into PR.
When
I should have moved into PR.
Trust me when I say no. You probably shouldn't have moved into PR. I would say that your mother and my mother steered us wrong when it came to high dollar.
Well, thankfully, my mother made sure that I had something to fall back on.
Filmmaking?
You still miming? You're miming, right, on the weekend? The art of miming.
What do you see as trends for nonprofits? You were talking about this is a down economy. What are the nonprofits having to do to flourish in this? You said you're seeing giving up. Why do you think that giving is up? Why do you see that? Why do you think?
A lot of the research just tells us giving is up, that people don't stop giving in a bad economy. In fact, there's some evidence that suggests they give more. My theory is because the need increases a lot of times in a down economy. The United States is the most benevolent country in the world. We do more in foreign aid than anyone else. We do more in domestic aid, and our nonprofit industries really they persevere through moments like this. I think you give credit to the staff. You mentioned Habitat for Humanity, Matt Carlson and his wonderful staff over there. Didn't break stride. I mean, continued to build houses and even took on the initiative of rebuilding after the tornadoes. You look at entities like United Way that raise money to fund multiple nonprofits, and what Matt Ryerson's doing over there with that entity. I just think people are deliberate who enter that field and that workforce, and they've decided that they're going to do what they can to help their neighbor at any cost.
Years ago, I read a study. I want to get to the bottom of something, Slinky, and I want you to step in and be the hard-nosed journalist if you need to be. You need to be careful, because once he's prepared, he's going to jump all over this. So this is about to get real.
I do have constitutional rights.
This is about to get real, Adam Lowe. I read a study, years ago.
There should be some sort of warning when things are about to be real.
Hey, camera one, could you put up a little thing on the thing that says things are about to get real, getting real? So that'll be up there.
I find it hard that you read a study.
No, I did.
Things are real.
They are real, Adam Lowe. You see that? The next time you step out of line and try to snark me up, my man air horns you.
Oh, that scared you too. I think you got your pants.
It did scare me.
Okay.
I'm living moss.
We call that the Whitney Houston horn. That's the Whitney Houston horn.
No, it is. It is.
So anyway, I read a study that said, and this is what I really did want to get your input on, that said that people that are going through hard times, that are having a difficult time, are the ones that give more because they're empathetic to it. Okay, but then you read other studies that actually say that the majority of benevolent giving is actually by people who are very, very wealthy and have the money to give. Now, you just said giving is up in a down economy. So we think there were certain people that were doing all right that are now not doing all right as a result of the recession, and that maybe they're actually giving more. You've been doing this a lot of years at this point. You are a bit of an expert. I'll use that lightly.
I appreciate that.
I'll use that
I'm
lightly.
flattered.
But
that I'm a bit.
what do you see? Is the majority of giving by those that are going through the difficult times, or when you are instructing somebody at a nonprofit to go after funds, to solicit funds, are they always going to just focus on the people that are able to give the most money, or is it important to do a broad general campaign, maybe to bring in some of those people that feel the need?
I think you give everyone an opportunity to give. Anyone who's wise in what they do in a nonprofit setting is going to open up the door for anyone who feels compelled to invest in what they're doing to have an opportunity to do it. It wouldn't surprise me at all that people who are empathetic and going through hard times kind of share and rally together. There's a lot of evidence to suggest that people help one another through a process, particularly in volunteerism, because when you don't have cash, you do have time and you do have talents and you can put them to work. So that study wouldn't surprise me at all, but I think any wise nonprofit would not just look to big fish to keep the waters churning, but to actually create as many opportunities as possible for people to buy into what you're doing.
Well, speaking of creating opportunities to buy into what you're doing, in a minute after this break, we're going to be back to speak to Fat Cat Commissioner Lowe. And my man here has his hard-nosed journalism face on.
Things are about to get more realer.
Can we avoid the horn? Well, I'll take you at your word.
More realer. So we will be right back with Commissioner Adam Lowe.
And the realist.
After this.
The
when
realist.
It gets more realer.
More realer.
More realer.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gupta, and I'd like to introduce you to a valuable new healthcare solution here in Cleveland. Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open and accepting patients. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even sports injuries and sprains. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level in the body. This increased oxygen level in our tissues and organs boosts the body's natural healing abilities and allows our bodies to function at a higher level. We will be happy to work in cooperation with your regular physician. However, referral is not required for this treatment. So whether you're dealing with a weekend injury, a chronic medical condition, or looking for anti-aging solutions, you owe it to yourself to explore what hyperbaric oxygen treatment can do for you or your loved ones. I invite you to contact us today for some more information.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what two of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
It's a very simple process, and it's well worth it.
Welcome back to the Lights, Camera, Cleveland edition of Tennessee Valley this morning. We are still here with Adam Lowe, unfortunately. We tried to get him to go away, but
They've glued me to the
stayed.
chair.
So we had other guests lined up. Rick Springfield was not able to come, so we've had to settle. When you think Rick Springfield, you immediately think Adam Lowe. So here we are.
I did wear my Rick Santorum sweater vest.
It's nice. It is nice.
Isn't that kind of nice?
It shows your family man. Speaking of Rick Santorum,
I'm down to earth.
and
Can relate.
Now,
politics.
let's not tell lies.
I told
It's
you.
realester.
Hard.
in here.
It's realer.
Realer is-
It's
is-
realer.
We're living
More
in
realer.
Moss.
Yeah. Here's the deal.
There's Moss realism.
We've returned, but we have a completely different Adam Lowe in this chair. Now we have Adam Lowe, servant of the people. Adam Lowe, you owe us answers. There are people that have questions, and me and the Slinky are going to get to the bottom of that.
If I answer these questions, will you release my children from your hostage environment?
Probably.
You're holding them
Probably
hostage,
not.
making them watch Yo Gabba Gabba, and
But that's not
the
so
movie The
bad.
Drive.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
that's
whatever.
bad.
Oh, unfair. Unfair. Let's start topic number 1, wheel tax. It's on the front page of the Daily Banner, so you know it's important. Okay? I would like to point out that a couple days ago, they had some random woman at the top of the Daily Banner that said, so-and-so thinks education important. Did you see that article?
Wow.
I don't remember what her name was.
Cutting edge.
But I was like, education's important. Wheel tax now at the top of that list.
They're related this time.
Okay. Here's the deal. Okay. Wheel tax. We were talking about it in the big news. And you know when it gets talked about in the big news that it's important?
That's right.
You're a county commissioner, which means you're dealing with this issue right now. Explain, if you could, in a easy to... Keep in mind our audience. Okay.
Did you just insult your
I'm gonna-
audience?
No, I just know that what they are intelligent
Audience, I think
people.
highly of
It's
you.
bad enough I scared the Polk County folks off last week. You don't have to get rid of all the public education system people.
I only know for sure that Alan Mincy is watching.
Green
And you
Lantern.
He's the only
Green
one that I
Lantern.
know is
Well,
watching.
for Alan, I will keep it simple.
Okay, so if you could please explain to Alan the wheel tax. Why is it important? And here's the thing.
Are you for or against?
Yeah, are you
Let's
for
start there.
or against the wheel tax?
Well, the wheel tax now is going to referendum. Everybody will get a chance to vote on it.
It's not what I
So,
asked.
no.
You, wheel tax, yes
Wheel
or no?
tax.
Yes or no?
As a private citizen, I don't get to ask you about your votes. It's the
We're
private.
keeping it real. We're
Okay.
trying to keep it real on here.
Okay, I voted to send that to referendum. I did.
Okay, so wait, to explain, that means you said we're not going to make this decision on behalf of everyone. We're going to let everybody vote on it.
Yeah, I personally thought it was the community's right to decide. There's pros and cons to it. It is going to education, capital needs. The schools have come to us, said we need these things. Here's our justification for it. I agreed with the justification. There was not money to do it. This was the best option that we thought to come by that money. Now it's time for the public to decide whether they want it or not.
You get the choice, public. How do you like
do.
them
The
apples?
public gets to choose.
So now, if it goes through or it doesn't go through, nobody can be mad.
Nobody, and no one
Because
has to
People
take
will
the
be
blame.
mad regardless.
People will be mad. Yeah, that's
People
true.
will be mad
People will be
regardless.
mad, but you don't have to be blamed.
No,
Because
I'll
what-
get blamed.
But technically,
But technically, you can be like, well, I let you guys
how many
decide.
people? Let me ask you this: how many people voted to send it to referendum?
12 of the 14.
Who are the two that didn't?
Mel Griffith and Ed Elkins.
And are they for or against? Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay.
You see, you're kind of...
They just voted
You're
to
months
vote.
down the road in the debate. We
Okay.
were discussing whether or not the people had a right to vote on it.
Okay.
Not whether or not it should pass. I think the schools
I like
and
this
the
part of our
advocates
segment.
for it need to make the case.
You
to the
make us
folks.
feel like journalists.
You're very good journalists. The boat horn's kind of awkward, but other than that,
That's the Whitney horn.
yeah, that's
It's
the Whitney
horn.
So no, the people get to vote on it, and we'll spend the next few months educating, and the people decide if it's worth it. What we tried to do as a commission was make that tax as transparent as it could possibly
Okay.
be. Here's what it's going to go towards. Here's what when you vote on it, you'll know exactly what it's going to do. So you need to decide if we need to do that.
Well, now right now they're talking. It's like what is it? $32.
$32 a year.
$32 a year. Now is
16 for motorcycles.
is that per wheel?
No, that's per car. It's unfortunately named a wheel tax. It's actually probably
A vehicle
a
tax?
vehicle tax.
Okay,
Now,
well-
is it only for people in the county, or does it affect the city as well?
City and county.
So this is across the board. All you
Correct.
commissioners are involved in this.
Now, will this apply to all our cars or just like the first car that I owned?
All your vehicles,
So-
unless there are exemptions. There's an exemption for low-income elderly that qualify under the trustees plan. That's a whole different show, I'm sure. But there are provisions there for folks on fixed incomes. Antique cars, things that the state tend to
What
exempt.
about, now you're in the 4th.
Yeah.
What about all the people in the 4th that have those cars that don't run?
That are on
That are
cinder
on
blocks.
cinder
I doubt
blocks.
they're tagged.
And
I doubt they- I doubt
so
that
it's
they're
tagged
tagged.
vehicles.
It's
Okay,
tagged vehicles.
because I was thinking they're mighty scared right now.
Those tagged
Because there's
vehicles.
some people out there that I think are running a car lot, but then I find
Well,
out
but
no.
they don't have wheels, so you can't pay a wheel
Right.
tax.
That's true as well.
Well, they say that the
Has to have
South will rise again as soon as they get tires.
As soon as they get tires. Well,
then-
So
they're
for every
on the-
vehicle,
they're
every
on the
tagged
prowl.
vehicle you have, it's $32, and then it's $16 for a motorcycle.
correct.
So essentially, the more cars you have, the more tax you pay.
If the people voted in.
Isn't that exactly what Obama is saying
About what?
about the world? That the more money you have, the more taxes.
No,
you
no,
pay?
no. That would be property tax related. There's a difference between an equal tax and an
This
equitable
is sounding
tax.
Obama-ish.
No, an equal tax and an equitable tax. And a lot of people who called for the wheel tax do so because they say it's more fair. Everybody pays it.
Okay, let
Even
me
if
ask-
you're renting homes, if you don't have property
Let,
tax.
let me ask a question then. Let's say, and we'll just hypothetically use me. Let's say that I have no kids in school.
Yeah, they revoked your license after that DUI.
How?
You can't drive.
Camera one, did you catch that? Yes, you did. It got
He
realer.
blew a boat horn. I've got a.
It's the Whitney.
Okay,
Okay,
go
the
ahead.
Whitney
Ask your
horn.
question.
So I have no kids in. I have no kids in school.
None.
Right. I have 2 cars.
2.
My neighbor has a motorcycle and 4 kids in school.
Correct.
How is it fair that I have to pay for their education?
Well, ultimately, any public service that you don't use isn't fair. You're paying for a lot of things that you don't use. You're paying to pave a road you may never drive down.
So what you're saying is cry me a river.
Well,
but
not really. But no,
Education's everyone's
motorcycles.
job, Slinky.
I'll tell you what we did. We tried to keep it easy for
But I
everybody.
was the child left behind.
Yeah, he was the child left behind. I could see that.
Real.
We trying to keep it fair, or
I just Whitneyed myself.
He Whitneyed himself.
trying to keep it simple for Alan Mincy.
Right.
Where we just went with how the state does it. The state, when you tag a motorcycle, it's half. So we didn't want to create any new policy. We wanted to kind of go with what the state did, and that way everybody was familiar with what was charged
Is
for what.
this normal? Like in most communities, do they have a wheel tax, or is this the brainchild of someone here?
Some do. It's not normal to tax motorcycles.
Okay.
Most people exempt them completely. We chose to do with what the state did. But to answer your question about paying for public ed, some people would say you benefit from reduced juvenile crime. So your investment in public education, and we can
If you
directly
saw his
see-
neighborhood, I won't mention which one it is, but you're very invested in reducing
Yeah,
juvenile
so
crime.
it's the residual benefits. A long time ago, whether it was fair or not, in America we decided that public education was worth the investment. Not everybody agrees with that, and there's some valid points to that, but regardless, it's state law. We do public ed. We've got to do for public ed. In this situation, we've got a school that was torn down by a tornado, one that was poorly built to begin with, and then one that was underbuilt.
That
and
sounded
we've got to
poorly built to
make
begin
up for it.
with.
Snap.
Okay, moving on to the next thing. Special election.
In my
We got a
district.
Special election in your district.
Not to replace me. I'm
There were-
not on the ballot.
Right,
I'm
you are
fine.
not on the
I'm-
ballot.
I'm not on the ballot.
There are 2 commissioners in every district.
There are 2.
Okay, and you're one of them.
I am one.
There was
Only
another
one.
guy. There was another guy
There
who
was
was a
another guy.
commissioner. He is no longer a commissioner.
No, he's no longer.
Which meant then you appointed. That fell on you.
It fell on me to make a recommendation. The commission as a whole appointed.
So everyone else voted on your recommendation.
They asked for a recommendation. I took open resumes.
Okay.
I took people from my district, and we got together, and I asked for their recommendation. They recommended pretty unanimously Cliff Eason.
Okay.
I took Cliff Eason as my recommendation to the commission, and the commission appointed him until this special election.
And now, so the election that's going on, everybody's seeing vote here, early voting, vote there, vote all over the place, right? It's going on right now. Is it just for your district?
The
Or are
commission-
there other commission races going on?
Well, there's a constable's race, but he's uncontested in another district. County property assessor, but it's uncontested. We're the only commission seat up, is that special election.
When will the normal election be? When are
2014. Everybody will be back on the ballot in 2014.
And then they'll be voting for 2 in every district.
Correct.
Tell me this.
They'll be voting, all of us who voted for a wheel tax to referendum.
I can
out of
tell
office.
he's getting his hard-nosed journalist face on, so you better be ready. Why a special election is now? How long has it been since the appointment?
About 9 months.
So 9 months. This guy.
A gestation cycle.
Okay, and now, right? Yeah, that's fair. Now it's time to birth a new commissioner. Into
Birth
the
a
world.
new commissioner.
Birth a new commissioner into the world. Now we would never ask you
Live in Moss.
about we live in Moss. Why should people out in the Fourth care about this thing?
Well, I mean, everybody has their different reasons. Ultimately, a commissioner deals with the county budget, all the county services. We set the property tax rate. Those are the 2 big things. But we deal with other issues. So people should care because on a weekly basis, I try to listen to them and advocate for them. And I think that they should look for someone who's going to do that.
Now,
You ready with some?
I want some help with that. I want somebody who will help me listen to people and try to be a good voice and to do the work and to study the budget and to understand policy and not berate other commissioners. I like that.
have you enjoyed being a commissioner so far?
I have enjoyed it.
How long have you been a commissioner?
Almost 2 years now.
Almost 2 years since you came in, the young, scrappy, Republican-y Rick Santorum of the South, and you came into the 4th district.
It's an interesting description.
But you've enjoyed it.
I have enjoyed it
so far.
I have enjoyed it.
Your district, it could be argued, and I think your district is Slinky's district. Are you District 4?
I don't think
No,
so.
I think he's District 6.
Okay.
Just barely though. I'm right at the.
He's
Just
okay.
He doesn't vote anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Your district is often, your political world is often likened unto a carnival. There's lots of fun and interesting things going on in the District 4, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So my question is, I'm trying to think of how ways to ask this without it.
You've got a wacky district.
Can we be real on the question here?
Be
Blow the
real.
horn to him.
What's that?
Blow
He
the
wanted,
Whitney
he
horn.
wanted you to be Whitney horned, but
Oh,
I
well,
don't
no,
know.
I'm trying to. No, here's my question.
You got to be real.
I'm trying to be real. Here's my real question is.
The Whitney has had,
the Whitney horn. We have had a Whitney horn malfunction.
I do not want to know the backstory behind why that became the Whitney horn.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay. Anyway, it's only fun. Yeah, that's what. But my question is on this thing is you essentially can't be involved with anything right now. You're a standing commissioner. You can't say, even though you appointed a guy that everybody says he's a great guy. We'd love to have him on the show, camera one. You appointed a guy, but now you got to stand back and watch this thing go down, right? As you're listening to the pulse of your community, are people getting out to vote? Do they understand that the special election is important?
I've heard that early voting has been up, and that's probably the best indicator. I don't have to sit on the sidelines. In many ways, I don't. I've kind of encouraged all of the candidates to a particular level. I think that they need to be the ones that need to be more studied. Privately, I've done that. I've tried to tell them that.
Which ones specifically?
Yeah, I want someone up there who's willing to put in the same effort that I've tried to do. And because of that, I feel, because I've been a candidate on the street, knocking on the doors, talking to people before, I'm very sympathetic to people who are willing to put themselves out there to do that. And I don't think they deserve my criticism before they've given a work to be criticized.
You got some questions, movie questions.
I have 4 of them actually.
4
These
movie
are important.
questions.
Are
Okay.
you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1. What is your favorite movie of all time?
My favorite movie of all time is Drive. Of course, I'm being facetious. No, I love Shawshank
We
Redemption.
believe. Tell him why. Tell him why. We believe everything you need to know about someone you can learn by asking these
The
questions.
first movie, Shawshank Redemption, has been my favorite for a long, long time. I have actively considered other contenders, and I keep coming back to the old classic.
Wow, he is a politician.
Very close second is Cool Hand Luke.
Okay.
Love Cool Hand Luke. Paul Newman,
It's
gotta love it.
difficult to select one film because they all come together as teams.
Which I didn't say at all.
All right, what do you think is the best?
Question number 2.
The best film ever made.
The best film ever made.
You could hate it, but it's the film that you think is the best.
The best film ever made. Transformatively, Citizen
I thought he
Kane.
was going to say Transformers.
No.
Citizen Kane. Yeah, Citizen Kane.
Citizen
Alright,
Kane.
good
I
answer.
mean, it first film to use camera angles relative to eye level, fades in and out, voiceover
agree.
tones and voiceovers. I
feel a little bit
that's
like
a
we're on
good-
the Family Feud. Good answer.
That
Good
is a
answer.
good answer. I feel like it's that or Groundhog's Day.
That's right.
or The Notebook.
Or The Notebook. Okay, number 3.
What movie have you seen more times than any other?
Oh, that's a pretty easy one. Monty Python and the Quest for the Holy Grail.
Okay.
All right, and the last
Number 4.
question, final question is, what do you think is the funniest film ever made?
Dumb and Dumber.
It's pretty funny.
It's a good thing you're not running.
Yeah. I thought Dumb and
thank
Dumber
you
a
for-
very funny movie.
Thank you for answering
is,
our
it's good.
questions, Commissioner Lowe. What's in the future for Commissioner Lowe? What's in the future?
Become a co-host on Lights Camera Cleveland on a regular basis.
Wow.
No,
happen.
These
you would have to aspire for greatness.
We're not sure that puppet's going to keep its job.
For greatness, yeah. I'm gonna
One
be,
of these
been
weeks we're
puppeteer.
going to be up there and be like,
I
we're
was
going
not the
live
pup-
now, and your head's going to come up.
Man, we'll keep doing what we do, having breakfast on Friday mornings, and just try to be good to folks, raise my kids.
Well,
you
yeah,
know.
on a serious note, as we say goodbye to you before our final segment, I do want to say this. I mentioned earlier that your district was hit really hard by the tornadoes. I know that I saw firsthand your care for the people in that district. I think you're doing a great job as a county commissioner, and I know that the people in your district are proud to have you there. Thanks for answering our questions. Maybe in the future you'll be our political correspondent here on All Things Camera Cleveland.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it realer.
Keeping it realer.
Keeping it last.
Living in Moss.
At some point,
Live in
this
Moss.
clock quit working during that last segment, so we have no idea how much time we have left on the show. We're going to go to commercial, and we'll be right back after this. I don't know, it quit.
Live Moss.
I had to get it restarted.
I'm Kathy Guy with Landmark Insurance Brokerage. Call us today for all your personal insurance needs. With 28 years in the insurance business, I have the solutions and pricing you are looking for. At Landmark Insurance Brokerage, we've got you covered.
Hello, I'm Dr. Gupta, and I'd like to introduce you to a valuable new healthcare solution here in Cleveland. Hyperbaric Services of East Tennessee is now open and accepting patients. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is an incredible treatment clinically tested for a variety of physical and neurologic conditions, including autism, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, migraine headaches, chronic fatigue syndrome, and even sports injuries and sprains. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy is a simple, safe, and painless process that raises a patient's oxygen level in the body. This increased oxygen level in our tissues and organs boosts the body's natural healing abilities and allows our bodies to function at a higher level. We will be happy to work in cooperation with your regular physician. However, referral is not required for this treatment. So whether you're dealing with a weekend injury, a chronic medical condition, or looking for anti-aging solutions, you owe it to yourself to explore what hyperbaric oxygen treatment can do for you or your loved ones. I invite you to contact us today for some more information.
Hi, I'm Brittany Jackson. Join me every Wednesday night at 6:30 and midnight where we will highlight local sports, chat with coaches, and discover new tips every week. Only on In the Spotlight with Brittany Jackson.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dennis Ford, board certified in anti-aging medicine and pain management. Have you had recent decrease in energy, lack of sex drive, feel moody, grumpy, or sad? If so, you may have low testosterone and be a candidate for bioidentical hormone replacement. Listen to what 2 of my patients have to say.
Before I came to the Ford Clinic, I had to have a nap every day.
When I got off work, I'd lay around, really didn't want to do much, and Felt real lazy.
I've noticed since I had the testosterone implant that I can go a good 8 hours doing the things I enjoy doing.
I had it done, took about 25, 30 minutes, 5 months, and I'm doing good. My stomach, my muscles, they've completely changed. My fat level has dropped. Get to go out and run, exercise with my son. My muscles are just getting stronger.
If you'd like to change your life, please call me at Ford Center for Pain Management and Anti-Aging Medicine at 423-400-9115.
Very simple process, and it's well worth it.
And we're back. You're watching Tennessee Valley this morning. The Lights Camera Cleveland edition. Much love to Commissioner Adam Lowe for answering our hard-nosed questions.
He is a fine man.
He is a fine man. It is time now for us to get into the preview review.
All right. Well, this is the part of the show where we are going to review the movies that are starting today, and we are going to review them based solely on the previews and everything that we have seen up to this point about them.
We have 4 films that we're going to talk about. There's actually like 8, but a bunch of them are in limited release. In the case, the one that's getting the biggest reviews right now, Fairy, doesn't even open in the United States yet. It's a French film, so we're going to wait until it opens in the
So
U.S.
it's Fairy.
Yeah, it is.
That's living
But
moss.
people love it, and I couldn't find anything written in English about it except for 100% love. You know, people think it's awesome, and I wanted us to review it. But we're going to do this, and if we get through it in time, we'll do 5 questions, because I actually saw a movie. But let's start with Wanderlust. Opening this weekend, Wanderlust. George and Linda are an overextended, stressed-out Manhattan couple. After George is downsized out of his job, they find themselves with only one option: to move in with George's awful brother in Atlanta. On the way there, George and Linda stumble upon Elysium, an idyllic community populated by colorful characters who embrace a different way of looking at things. Money? It can't buy happiness. Careers? Who needs them? Clothes? Only if you want them. Is Elysium the fresh start George and Linda need, or will the change of perspective cause more problems than it solves? This movie stars Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston.
It also stars Jennifer Aniston's boyfriend. Folks, anytime you have a movie where a couple is involved as the stars, you know that one of them only has the role because the other got the role. And it's never a good sign.
I did not realize they were together.
Well, it's not Paul Rudd. It's the brother. It's the other guy.
So the other guy has to actually watch his girlfriend make out with
Paul Rudd the whole time. So, now this also
I
stars.
remember that happened to me.
This also stars Alan Alda,
Okay, good.
and it's being produced by Judd Apatow, who is a pretty funny man. I've got to tell you, I'm going to hate this one. There's very little about the previews of this one that really make me excited about it. It just looks kind of dumb.
I like Paul Rudd a lot.
I like Paul Rudd as well.
I like Judd Apatow films a lot. I've actually said that if anyone out there is making films that speak directly to our generation, it's Judd Apatow. And I like Alan Alda a lot. The problem with this thing is it's sending my Aniston meter is going off. Like she's not really proven that, and I loved Horrible Bosses, and I loved her in Horrible Bosses, but I've got to give this one a hate, which is hard for me because I don't think there's been a Judd Apatow film I've ever actually given a hate to. Can you think of one?
No, this is the first. So
We like Apatow, but this one is coming. The trailers are flat, and that's what we've got to go by.
The next one is Act of Valor. This one actually started as a Navy SEAL training project.
Right.
And at some point, the folks making it decided to go ahead and make a full-length film out of it. And as they started that, all of the Navy SEALs that were involved were upset with the way the actors were portraying Navy SEALs. And they kept saying, well, we'd never do that. That's not how we are. And so they started having the Navy SEALs just play themselves. And before you knew it, you had a movie in which
the Navy SEAls play the Navy
SEAls. The entire cast is Navy SEAls except for like 4 actors who play the very, very, very lead ones. None of these Navy SEAls have credits in the movie because their identities are all, left ambiguous. and secret. And basically, it's a story about a mission to recover a kidnapped CIA operative and how the SEALs, get them back. I've gotta hate this one.
We've got 1 minute.
We have 1 minute. Wow.
That went fast.
I've got to hate this one. I don't care for this kind of movie.
Yeah.
And it looks like a Navy SEAL training movie.
I love the idea of this movie, and I think that the trailer was okay, especially the part where dude comes out of the water right when the guy snipes him and he falls into his hands.
Yeah.
This is the sort of thing that my best friend Dusty is always talking about how great it is. But I'll say this, every critique of this film that's coming out hates it.
It's got a 19% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It does not matter who has seen it. They don't like
Right.
it. So I get the feeling it's pretty boring.
Well, the other two, very quickly, Tyler Perry's Good Deeds.
You know what? I've spoken, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I like Tyler Perry and what he's doing in this space. I'm not going to see this movie.
All right. And what about...
Bye. It says we're still on. You told me bye. She said bye.
She did say bye.
Bye.
Bye.